Hey y'all, welcome to the beta version of the new order entry method, which we're calling OrderPad. We hope that this will be much more pleasant to use, much quicker. Um, so we appreciate you guys trying this one out and letting us know what you think. So first I'm just going to create a new order here, and I'm going to be using instead of a demo order, I'm going to be using some people. Let's see here. Let's try Brennan's because I want to be able to see some stuff on the bid list, which you'll see in a second. So I'm going to hit new order. There's Brennan's. And I'm going to call this PJJ test for the PO number. And we're going to create the order. Now, you can see right away that this is similar to what we had before, but you'll notice a few things. First of all, it's not a split screen anymore. Everything's on one screen. And the way this works is instead of directly placing your order requests now directly into your order, what we're going to do is we're going to add it to a scratch pad. And what that means is that it allows us to add these things much more quickly because we don't have to do all those price calculations. And then when we're ready to add them, we'll add them at the end, and that's when the prices get calculated. It's much quicker. You can still hit your Control 1 to show and hide your margin and sell price. And you do also notice that when you come into this for the first time, you are by default going to be looking at your bid list. Okay, because that's most likely where you're going to be taking orders from. All right. Now there are a bunch of different ways that you can enter items on your order, and we're going to go through all of them. The first thing I want you to notice up here, though, is the help area, which is just all of your keyboard shortcuts. So if you ever kind of forget what one of these keys does, you've got a quick little reference right there, and we'll go over all of these. All right. So there are different ways to enter items onto the order. Some people like to use a mouse. Some people like to use a keyboard. Some people like to do a little of both. One method to use is your up, down, left, and right arrows. Okay, so if I'm on my bid list here, I can just start upping or going up and down the list, and when I land on what I want, I can hit the right arrow to add a quantity and keep hitting right to increase the quantity, or the left arrow to decrease the quantity. And you can see that we've added that to our scratch pad over here, our order pad, but there are no prices involved yet. So one thing also to note is if I have the Control 1 on, that is one thing that kind of slows things down. So when you up or down the arrow, it's going to temporarily hide those again until you get to the spot where you want. Okay, and so I'm going to add a couple, go down a few right here, add a couple more, and let's say that is good for now. So the last little bit of this, you'll recognize from the earlier version, the tabs that used to be up here at the top are now down here at the bottom. Okay, so we can look at all items, right? Items that are just on this order, and you see there aren't any on this order yet. These items that we just added are not on the order. Okay, they're just in this temporary holding spot until we hit add to order. We can look at items that were on the last order for this customer, and here they are. And of course we can order directly off of this list. So say I wanted to add one of those, and I can just click these buttons too. So that's another way to do it. I can go 1, 2, 3. Some people like to use the mouse, or negative right there. And of course I can also click directly into a box and type a number. And likewise, I can up or down the arrows here, and when I get to a box, I don't have to go left or right to increment by 1. I could just say I want 4 of those. Just type in a 4, and as soon as you leave that 4 gets added. Now if you need to make any adjustments to quantities of things that have already been added, You can do it in any of the ways that we said before. You can click in here and just simply type a new number. You can click the minus to decrease. You can plus to increase, like so. Or you can also come over here and change the quantities in this area. Any of that works, just depends on what you like to do. All right, so we've got some basics in here and basic list. And before I show you how the search bar works, it's pretty similar to what you're used to, but there's a couple of added bits to it. I want to point out that even though I have not added these to the order yet, if I go back to the order at this point, you can see where it says OrderPad saved. Now nothing's on the order, but all that information has been saved. So if I go back to OrderPad, all that stuff is still there. I can continue working. It will not be added to the order itself until I hit add to order. At this point though, say I didn't mean to put this one on, or we changed our mind, I can just delete that, no big deal. Or of course I could clear the entire thing, but I don't want to do that at the moment. So I'm going to say add to order, and now all those price calculations are going to happen. And boom, they're right there ready to go. And if I hit Control 1, now I've got the areas where I can adjust quantities. I'll change that to a 2. And I can, again, use my up, down, left, and right arrows to move around these boxes and say I want to make, here, obviously that's yellow. You can see that the last sold price was $30.13 and there's been a price drop. So maybe I want to keep that at $30.13, right? So boom, that's done. And same with this one. The last sold was $1.78. That's interesting, that margin. We'll have to see what's going on there. But say we want to put that at $1.78. There we go. Like so. All right, and again, just like before, when you're ready to send this order, you would just change editing to ready to sync and call host, and you'd be good to go. So notice now when I go back to the order pad, my order pad has been cleaned, right? And you can see that the items highlighted in blue can no longer be changed from this view because they're already on the order. You can't add it to an order on an order pad now because it's already on your order, if that makes sense. So now if I look at this order, I can see the items that are currently on my order. And let's say I wanted to jump to the paragraph for this biscuit dough. I just hit the paragraph sign, and now I'm looking at frozen biscuits dough, right? And let's say I want to add a couple of those. And let's say I need to, let's see, I don't know which, let's say I just want to look at veg, and I want to look at frozen G to Z. I'll click that. Boom, there I am. I'll close that. And now I need to search, right? This is a big list. There's 43. Whenever you hit the escape key, it's going to pop you up to your search box. So say I want to look for peppers. Right, there's 2 of them. So I can do the same. I can arrow up and down just like before. And whenever I hit, I say, I didn't mean to search for pepper. I'm going to hit escape. That's going to clear the search, put me back in the search box, and I'm ready to go for something else. So let's go to peas. All right. Now, let's say that you want to, your customer is someone who calls out a list of item numbers and quantities, just rails them down the list, either on your voicemail or whatnot. So let's say they call in 314930. So I'm going to say 314930. And at that point, if I hit enter or return, I'm going to jump to the quantity. Now he says I want 2 of those. I hit 2, hit enter. Now I'm back to a new search. Let's say I want 1206. Well, that's not on there. Okay, because we're still only searching through our frozen vegetables. So let's look at just 314. Okay, all of those are there. Now what happens if I hit enter and hit a quantity? It's going to select the top one in the list, the one that is highlighted. Right? You see that? So if you can't narrow your list all the way down to one, and this is designed mainly for people that actually have the item numbers and just want to enter item number quantity, item number quantity. So you get the pattern, it's 314617, enter 2. 313304, enter 1. And that's how you do that. So those are all the different ways that you can enter information. Of course, you still have your general item information here, just like always, that you can jump through. And again, you can jump to paragraphs. Of course, I'm already in a paragraph, so anything I jump here is just going to keep me right where I was. But if I go back over, let's say, to my bid list, and I hit my control 1 so I can see what other yellows I've got, for instance, and what's already on the list, and maybe I want to, and the same thing works here. I can go, what is it, 775, 809, enter 2 of those. So you guys get the gist. So I'm ready for this to be done, and now I'm going to add those to the order. And if you have a substantial list on your OrderPad, it might take a minute, not a full minute, but a couple of seconds for all those calculations to be done. But they're done at the end now, which is much, much quicker. You don't have to have your customer wait on you for the order entry to happen. And again, now that you're here, you can make any adjustments to margin, quantity, or sell price that you need. Okay, that is the basics of it. Please give us feedback. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We'll continue to refine it and improve upon it, but we hope this is a vast improvement over what we had before. Thanks for watching, and thanks for trying it out.